Dear viewers, buying a home in which you live is a major life goal for most people. One needs to buy a house at some point of a time in life. But when is the right time to buy your own house? In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about all aspects of this particular issue and try to arrive at a rational way of looking at this particular problem and find out when is the right time to buy your own house. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, investment consultant and a financial planner.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, the corona second wave is continuing. As such, I am in a lockdown in the city of Bangalore. Probably this situation will continue for a couple of more weeks until such time with whatever the facility that I have here, I'll be recording the videos. So if the quality of this video is not up to the mark, kindly forgive us. We will do our best with whatever the equipment we have, and once the situation normalizes, you can expect better quality videos from our side. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about when should you buy that house in which you are going to live. The discussion today is restricted to need-based house. The discussion is not about whether you should buy properties or not, what kind of a property should you buy, how big the property should be, whether it's a commercial or whether it is going to be a residential. That's not the point of argument today. Today we are going to talk about only about when should I buy that need-based house. That's the point of discussion today. There was a time during my time, that was literally about 30 years before, the situation was not like this. You will graduate, you will get into a company as a salaried person, then for rest of your life, you will work for that company. You will not change the cities. You will join the company, you retire in that company. You get into one particular city, you retire in that particular city. During such a circumstances, it makes obvious and it becomes reasonable for any person to own a house of their own in the city in which you live. Now the situation has completely changed. You don't see the persons who is getting into one single company and for rest of their life they work for the same company. People hardly remain in the same company for 3 to 5 years. They change jobs. They move from one city to the other city. They may move from one country to the other country. Earlier, people used to marry within their region, within their communities. Even that system is a thing of the past. So in these changed circumstances, should we be buying a house in which we live at the early part of our life? If you are a young person, the moment you get into a job, the first advice that your parents will give is, first you go and buy the house. Now, as parents, they are concerned for you. They are giving you advice based on what they have seen in their life. But that advice comes from a person who has seen life in their ways. But your life today, if you're an youngster, is completely different. So under these changed circumstances, how should you approach this particular problem? Should you go and buy the house as soon as you get a job, or should you wait for it? What are the points that you should keep in mind before you decide to buy that dream house in which you want to go and live in? Let's look at this particular problem one by one, problems that we have to face, and see whether we can find favorable answers for that. If you are able to find correct answers to every problem that might come along the way, then we are ready to buy a house. What are the problems that you may encounter when you decide to buy a house? Let's look at them one by one. Before you buy that house, the first point that you have to keep it in mind is, if you buy that house in that city or locality, area, country, wherever it is, are you going to go and stay there for a reasonably good period of time? When I say reasonably good period of time, it is not 2 years, 3 years. At least 10 years will you go and stay there. Or you are contemplating to move jobs. If you are contemplating to go to another country, then you should think for a while and hold back your decision. It is better for you to buy a house where you are going to live. If you have no intention to go and stay in a city, then it is not a good idea for you to go and buy a house in which you are going to go and live. During my practice, a lot of people come to me. During this process of fact find, I see that these people tell me that was a house I purchased 10, 20, 30 years before. I have no intention to stay there. It's a mistake on my part. I was a young person. I did not anticipate all these kinds of things happening in my life. At some point of time, I'm going to dispose it off. That's a bad decision. This is usually the common problem that we see when people of 45, 50, 55 years of age come and do the fact find with us. Why did they do this mistake? Because they did not think at the time of buying the property whether they will get into all these kinds of a problem. So if you're a person who is looking at the possibility of buying a property today, the first thing that you have to see is, will I go and stay in that property for next 10 years or not? If the answer to that is no, then you better hold back and postpone your buying decision for a future date. Now let me assume that you got an answer that you are going to go and live in that particular city or country, and you have a reason to go and buy that house. Now, should you be immediately buying that house? The answer to that question is no. Before you decide to buy a dream house, the second point that you have to keep it in mind is, have you built sufficient emergency funds? Building emergency funds is a recent concept. The concept has come into practice because of changing times now. Now your jobs are not guaranteed. Anything can change. You may lose jobs. A lot of things can go wrong in life. Now we have seen how the pandemic has completely shattered people's finances. So before you buy that house, make sure that you have built sufficient enough emergency funds in case if things were to go wrong and you are put into difficulty to pay off your EMIs or any other commitments that you have. If you do not know how to build emergency funds or what is the process that you have to follow to build the emergency funds, sometime back we had done a video on how much of emergency funds you should have. Here in the card section, I'll give a link to this particular video. Make sure you check out on this video to know how much of emergency funds you should be having. If you have built sufficient enough emergency funds, and if you are living in that particular city for a reasonably good period of time, then probably you have two reasons which are going in favor of buying that property. But that's not all. Now, let us look at the third point that you should consider before you decide to buy that house. The third point that you have to consider before you buy that house is, make an assessment. If you have to stay in a rented house, how much it is going to cost? Or if you buy the house, what could be your EMIs? Or what could be the interest rate? Or what could be the total amount of interest you are going to pay for that housing loan? Normally, the interest that you pay or the interest rate that you pay for the housing loan and the rent that you pay should be equal. But most cases, especially in India, it's not like that. The rent what you pay is a small fraction compared to the interest that you pay on your housing loan. Let's say if you are paying about 7% as the rate of interest on your housing loan, the rental yield in India could be somewhere in the space of about 2%. Now ask yourself, should I be really renting the house, or it makes sense for me to go and buy that particular house? If you are buying that house, you are paying an extra interest, you are servicing an extra EMI, you get stuck to that house. Instead of that, think about it. Today, you will not be working in the same company. You may be working in the same city. Let's assume that you're going to work in Bangalore. I will not move out of Bangalore, but I may change companies often. Suppose if you are working in South Bangalore today, you can rent out a premises in South Bangalore. A few years down the line, if you decide to work in the North Bangalore, it makes better sense for you to rent a house in North Bangalore and enjoy that property. If the rents are cheaper, you should definitely consider, should I be renting the house or should I go and buy that house? It makes a lot of sense for you to rent the house in case if the interest that you pay on the housing loan is far higher than the rents that you are paying. Plus, renting a property gives you an advantage. If you are living in major cities, commuting within the city is a major issue. Instead of getting stuck into your own house in one part of the city, as you change your jobs, you can move your house to a place which is closer to your workplace, and that makes your life much more simpler. So think about it. In India, the rental realization, the rental yields are far lower than the bank interest that you're paying on your own house. Whereas in case of developed countries, let's say look at US or in Canada or in Europe or in Singapore, Australia, Japan, even in Dubai for that matter, the rents that you pay is quite high. So in such a cases where the rent you are paying is very high, probably there is a better reason for you to go and buy your own house. If your rent is same and if your EMIs are going to be the same, then it makes sense for you to go and buy your own house. Every time, every month you pay an EMI, you are creating an equity in that house. Whereas the rent you pay to that landlord is a complete expense. But this logic holds when your rent is equal to or in the region of the EMIs that you are paying, or the rental yields are similar to the interest that you pay on the housing loan, then probably it's a better case for you to go and buy your own house. If the rent is lesser than that, then probably it makes better sense for you to stay in a rented house. Now let us assume that the first 3 points that I discussed, living in that city, building your emergency funds, and an argument on should I be renting or should I be going for an EMI based on housing loan interest is in your favor. What is the fourth point you should consider? The fourth point that you should consider is, yes, today I have decided to live in this country or in this city. What if I am forced to move to some other city or some other country? This can happen to anyone. You may get a better offer. You may say, I just can't resist this offer. Yes, I thought I would live in this city, but now circumstances have changed. I've got a better offer. I have to move on. In that case, if you have purchased that house, is it easy for you to rent out that house? Or if you want to sell that house, is it easy for you to sell off that house? Suppose in your enthusiasm to buy the house, if you have purchased a house in some remote corner, or if it is from a far off from the city, then in that case, you may find it difficult to rent out the house in your absence, or you may find it difficult to sell that house on profitable terms. So the fourth point that you should consider is, if things did not go the way you wanted it to be, is it easy for me to rent out that house, or it is easy for me to sell that house without any losses that you might incur on that? If you find a favorable answer for that, probably you have a reason to consider buying your own home now. Now you would have got 4 points in favor of you. You are going to go and live in that place for a reasonably good period of time. You have built emergency funds. The rent versus EMI argument is in your favor, and you are buying this house in a good locality so that you are able to rent it out or sell it off if things did not go your way. Is that the only thing that you have to consider? The answer is no. There is a fifth thing that you have to consider. The last point that you have to keep it in mind is, am I financially stable? Yes, everything is fine. All arguments are in your favor. But buying a house is a major decision that you do in your life. It calls for long periods of payment of EMIs. It takes the resources that you have kept for other things might go in for a dead asset called house. So before you buy the house, check yourself, am I financially stable? How is my job? Is there a prospect of me losing the job? How is my company doing? What's happening in the sector that I'm working? If you feel that things are not very comfortable at this point of time, probably it makes sense for you to hold back your decision for a while and rethink it at some point of time in future when you feel things are in your favor. If you think everything is favored, your finances are all right, you're working in a good sector, things are going the way you want it to be, don't delay it. This is the time you should go and book that dream house of your own. Dear viewers, hope the video that I have done today would have given you a logical approach to make a decision on when you should buy your dream home. If this video helped clear the confusions that could have persisted in your mind, please go and like this video. If you are a person who is watching this channel for the first time, or if you are yet to subscribe for this channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this video with your near and dear ones. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I will be back with you next week with yet another topic and yet another video very, very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.